obsolete, Mr. Wordsworth.
Lie. No man is obsolete.
It's a cookbook.
Who are we?
When will they take the bandages off?
You're a bad man. You're a very bad man.
This lemon sucker here. He's the most suspicious of the bunch.
My name is Talkie Tina, and I'm beginning to hate you.
I believe you're going my way.
Live from Willoughby at the heart of the Twilight Zone. Here are your hosts, Alex and Tyler, the prestigiously perfect podcast in which we call The Twilight Zone.
What is up, cool cats and daddy-os? I'm Alex.
And I'm Tyler.
Welcome to the Twilight Gnome Podcast, episode 66. What episode are we going to be discussing this week, Ty?
This week, Daddy-O, we are discussing Black Leather Jackets.
Season 5, episode 18, original air date January 31st, 1964. This was directed by Joseph M. Newman, who did 4 Twilight Zones. You want me to tell you which ones he did?
Yeah, let's hear it.
He directed In Praise of Pip, Last Night of a Jockey, Black Leather Jackets, and Bewitching Pool. So
All season 5.
they are all season 5. Two good ones, 2 crappy ones.
I remember Bewitching Pool. Obviously, we just watched Black Leather Jackets. The other two, I don't know. I've never seen them
In
before.
Praise of Pip is a tearjerker, very good. Has Klugman in it. And then Last Night of a Jockey has Mickey Rooney, and I can't stand Mickey Rooney in that. He's such a prick.
I mean, how many Mickey Rooney things have you seen?
Well, you got Santa Claus is Coming to Town.
Yeah, that's a good movie.
I like him in that, but I don't know.
It's a mad world.
You'll see when we get to it. There was an interview that he did about the Twilight Zone, and he just came off as, I know he was very old at the time. He just seemed like a miserable dick.
Oh, like did he not enjoy his time working on the Twilight Zone?
He just didn't want to answer any questions about it. No one cares about that shit. It was a stupid show anyway.
Yeah. Boo.
And then this was written by Earl Hamner Jr., which typically he's kind of the redheaded stepchild of the writers. Like, he's definitely like Ringo, like I've said before. I'll go over. He did 8 episodes that he wrote. Do you want to hear which ones he wrote?
Yeah.
I believe they're all, or no, they're not all season 5, but there's a couple. The Hunt, A Piano in the House, Jezebel, You Drive, Stopover in a Quiet Town, Black Leather Jackets, and The Bewitching Pool.
Yeah, quite a few good ones in there. I mean, I love The Hunt and Stopover in a Quiet Town. Those are up there a lot for me. So yeah, some pretty good ones. And kind of spread over. I think that season 3, 4, and 5.
Yep. All right, we'll jump right into it, Ty. What was your favorite moment?
My favorite moment was when he goes next door to speak to the boys, and they're all like jostling back and forth. It reminded me of in Austin Powers 2. Remember when Dr. Evil's like throwing the ball at number 2? It reminded me of that. And then he gets home, and then his wife is all concerned, like, "Oh, what happened?" And he's like, "They're nice boys."
I have 2 written down. One was definitely the bullying stew. I have just pushing him around in the circles, funny as shit. And then one of them, obviously, it should come to no surprise if you've been listening to this. I love Trailer Park Boys, and the guy in the leather jacket at the beginning goes, "I got work to do," and it reminded me of Cyrus. Just fuck off. I got work to do.
We have the technology to rebuild it.
Doctor, what have you created?
I am, for all intent and purposes, AI Serling.
So every week I put a prompt into ChatGPT, come up with a Rod Serling style intro to the episode we are watching, and this week it came up with this. Portrait of a neighborhood, neatly trimmed lawns, the scent of fresh paint on picket fences, and a quiet that has rarely been disturbed. But today, that quiet shudders under the low, growling purr of 3 motorcycles, and the arrival of 3 leather-clad strangers who bring with them more than just noise. Meet Stu, husband, father, and lifelong resident of this picture-perfect street. Like his neighbors, he prides himself on routine and recognizes every face on the block. That is until now. What he doesn't recognize, but will soon feel, is the cold breath of suspicion, and something far more unsettling. for this sleepy suburb is about to receive an unexpected visit from the Twilight Zone.
I like the meet Father Stu, the father, husband, and victim of assault.
We'll get to it when we get there, but it's definitely the underlying, what did they do to you? I don't want to talk about it.
And then, like, yeah, it was just the most mild-mannered of bullying. They're just, like, gently tossing him, like, and he gets so flustered from it,
That would be
too.
so fucking humiliating if,
He goes over there to talk with them. Also, they're supposed to be, like, these big, tough guys, and they clearly not. The whole thing is just very comical. It's quite a funny episode.
pretty good. So every week, Tyler and I come up with a few questions for each other, keep each other on our toes while watching said episode. I have 3 this week.
I have 5.
Go for it, then.
All right. In the opening shot, when the aliens park their bikes, there is a sign in the window advertising imported what?
Leather jackets.
Imported Italian shoe samples.
Close. Italian leather.
Yeah.
What is the number for the realty company?
I have this. This is my next question. I'm going to not look. See, I'm turning my phone. It was 6 digits, which surprised me.
Yes, it is.
485462.
So close. 485412.
Pretty close.
Very close.
What is the alien's house number?
11575. That was one of mine.
Correct.
I did not look, though.
Yep.
All right, you go again then, because I only have one left.
What time does Scott change Ellen's watch to?
6:15.
8:30.
Damn it. Well, would it close at 9?
I guess. So she's definitely
it
not
closed
making
at
it to the
6.
library.
We'll get to it when we get to that too, but the whole fucking, like, everything at night was fucking confused the shit out of me.
Yeah, it was a little weird.
When they're in the gazebo, Scott and Ellen there, she says her grandmother lived to be how old?
101?
90.
Oh.
Dalmatians.
My last question, what unit are the 3 main aliens?
418.
Bacteria Unit 59.
All right.
I wonder if the 59 is because the show started in 59?
Maybe you could
Or
probably
just-
make it. I mean, it was written by Earl Henry Jr., not
Rod.
Rods.
So,
Maybe,
oh.
I don't know. Maybe. All right, we'll jump right into the plot of this one. We open on 3 cool dudes with their cool glasses riding their motorcycles.
Those are the weirdest goggles, too. Like, which, I mean, I guess makes sense. If you're riding a motorcycle, you're like, there's no windshield in front of you. But I thought they looked so stupid. From a distance, it almost makes them look like superheroes. It's kind of like the black mask thing that superheroes wear. But yeah, on closer inspection, I realized it was goggles.
Definitely very Umbrella Academy.
Yeah.
They're driving down the street, and like all rebels and people who cause trouble, they go to the realty office and stimulate the economy by buying a house.
And I love how they always park their bikes and get off the bikes in unison, like a choreographed dance routine or something.
Yep. The neighbors are kind of interested in what's going on. We see a girl looking very intrigued at these gentlemen, and she's kind of a hottie.
Yeah.
Then we see some moving guys, and they're moving these big silver crates into the black leather jacket guys. What are we going to call them? We're not going to call them, spoiler alert, they're aliens, but...
I kept calling them the aliens.
I don't know, but we don't know they're aliens yet.
Scott and friends.
Call them the, like, what is it, like the
The
outsiders?
neighbors. Oh, the
No.
greasers?
Yeah, we'll call them the greasers.
Okay.
I like that.
Yeah.
All right, so we see...
Like the bad guys from Cat Dog.
Yeah. So the moving guys are moving shit into the greaser's house. And then we get to see the neighbor. He's mowing the lawn, and he's kind of wondering what these guys are up to. The daughter comes out of the house to talk to her dad. She's like, do you know who these strange people are? She's like, no.
And then typical daddy's like, well, don't go near him, not near my daughter.
You stay away from them.
And right after this, when we see them walking into their house, like, I mean, the jazz has kind of been playing this whole time, but like, I really noticed the jazz, and it's different. It's a lot more upbeat. I really loved the music in this episode.
For sure. And then we see the black leather jacket guys come home. The greasers come home, and they go inside. The moving guys are kind of like, this is all you guys got?
You ain't got a couch, you ain't got any chairs, a dining room table, nothing.
Yep.
And then it's at this point that the movers leave, and we see that these aren't ordinary greasers. They use their telekinetic abilities to close the window.
They close the blinds, and then
blinds,
they open the door, which the way he was like struggling to get, like, it would have been easier just go over and fucking do it by hand.
Yeah, but he had to show how cool he was in front of the other aliens.
Right? And then Rod brings us in.
Three strangers arrive in a small town. Three men in black leather jackets in an empty rented house. We'll call them Steve and Scott and Fred, but their names are not important. Their mission is, as three men on motorcycles lead us into the Twilight Zone.
Yeah, so I was kind of hoping that this would play out like an I Think You Should Leave skit, because Rod kind of likes, like, they're cool guys, so it's like, Rod just kind of like, these guys are just really cool, and like in the next shot, at the end, he's wearing like the leather jacket, and
Oh, I thought you were going to do the opposite, like he hypes them up so much, and then it turns out like they're not really cool at all, and they like do really nerdy shit.
that could happen too in a Tim Robinson skit. Yeah, and when we return from our first commercial break, it's nighttime. Neighbors are watching TV. The TV signal goes out, gets all messed up.
I wrote, Cindy, the TV's leaking.
What's wrong with the TV? It's flickering. The dad looks out the windows, sees like a satellite thing on the roof, and he's like, damn neighbors, fucking ham radio. Out of all the neighbors in the world, we get stuck with the ham radio
Was
guys.
this like a problem in the 50s and 60s? Like, constantly just getting neighbors that really love the enthusiasm of a ham radio use.
Right.
Like, who does this?
I don't know. And then I guess it was a big thing. Ellen comes downstairs, the daughter, and she's like, what's going on? Some of my shit just started flickering. And he's just like,
My shit's flickering. It was a radio.
yeah. And then the dad's like, oh, no, I'll get to the bottom of this. I'm going to go see if those boys have a license to operate that ham radio. Again, fucking nosy 50s neighbors. I have this shit. Like, mind your own fucking business.
Not even just the 50s. Like, even nowadays, nosy-ass neighbors, like, if you live in a suburb or something, I couldn't stand
That's why I don't live in a suburb. I just can't stand neighbor stuff like that.
Yep.
And especially if you're going to be the person who has problems with stuff like that, don't live near people.
Yeah.
Tangent aside.
So yeah, then Stu heads on over and he gets
Knocks on the door.
Knocks on the door. The door opens itself. Ooh, spooky. And then
Like anyone, a normal person, you let yourself in.
yeah, of course, naturally. And he sees the greasers and asks them if they
A
have
cool shot. The door opens and then we kind of like, because it's pretty dark in that room. I just liked that shot, how it illuminated him.
Yeah, it kind of reminded me of The Chaser. With
Yeah.
like the magical opening door and kind of like zoom in to follow the guy walking in.
Yep. And he's just like, having a problem with our electricity, boys. You guys operating a ham radio? They laugh, and he's like, what's funny? And he's like, Daddy-o wants to know what's funny. I'll play some of this, because their first interaction is funny, and it's both of our favorite moments.
Yep.
Now, you boys don't happen to be ham radio operators, do you? What's so funny?
Big Daddy wants to know what's so funny.
Who are you boys, anyway?
We are monsters, Daddy-o.
We came from outer space.
Take us to your leader.
Now, just a minute.
Cool it, Daddy-o.
Now you look at this cat. Wait.
I like, they obviously play their hand. They're being joking, but they give away the plot.
Oh yeah, that's just like from Pirates of the Caribbean when Johnny Depp's characters, Jack Sparrow says, unless of course I told you the truth because I knew you wouldn't believe the truth even if I told it to you. It's kind of one of those same exact scenarios. What they're saying is the truth, but it's so outlandishly ridiculous, like everyone's just going to assume that you're joking about it.
True. I did like that. They push him around. It's very humiliating. And I'm going to call the cops. I'm going to get my lawyer. And then the tall one, the alpha there, I don't know which one his name is. I know it's not Scott.
Not Stu. Oh, wait. No, yeah, Stu's the name. Yeah, not Scott.
And he kind of just like dead stares him and goes, forget about it, old man. And
he must
Stu
have
forgets about
telepathy of some kind. Either that or he's just so intimidating. Stu shit his pants and left.
Stu gets in a trance before going, he runs into the wall.
Yeah. I like that little, yeah, it's, there's a lot of little comedy bits in this. I like that little touch of like, oh, he's a little confounded, so maybe he's going to bump into a wall here and there.
Then Stu arrives home. The wife comes out. What's the matter? What did those men do to you? The undertones.
And then I love his reply of they're three very nice boys.
They're very good boys. They did nothing.
Like I can just imagine like this scene kind of ending short of him actually leaving the house, and then he just walks over and it leaves it up to the imagination as to what those three boys did to Stu.
Just holding his butt. The next shot, Ellen misses the bus. Again, at nighttime. Makes no fucking sense.
Yeah, both a night bus and a night library.
And again, because like, I would imagine it's around summertime.
Yeah.
So it doesn't get fucking dark until like 9 o'clock, which means this would be like 10 o'clock in your butt. that threw me off so bad.
I thought it just kind of added to the whole mystery kind of element, like, oh, it's dark out at night. But yeah, it is kind of a little weird that a bus would be running so late and that a library would be open that late.
Yeah, so Ellen misses the bus, and Scott comes out on his motorcycle, and he kind of stops by her, and she's like, oh, thank my lucky stars.
And then just before that, too, so did you notice, pull it up, there's, for some reason, an extra clip of the bus. Maybe it was just the platform I was watching it on. I'm curious to see if it's also on the DVD here. But when she misses the bus, it cuts to another shot of another, like a second bus also missing her house with her not in front of it before cutting to Scott on the motorcycle.
Darn you!
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I didn't notice it my first watch around, and then the second time I was like, what the hell is with this really weird, out-of-place clip? Because it still has the audio from the first one.
Play it twice. That's really fucked up.
Yeah. I don't know what happened there, but something got lost in editing.
Good little catch.
Yeah.
Viewers, go and watch that. It is very odd. It shows the bus leaving, and then it shows the exact same shot right after.
Except this time, she's not outside the house.
She was about to. It's literally the exact same shot.
Maybe they just needed to stretch it out.
We need 2 extra seconds.
Yeah, I don't know. Weird.
That's weird. But yeah, Scott comes, and she's like, oh, thank my lucky stars. And I'll play some of this, because he's kind of a bad actor. Stars are lucky? Which obviously,
he's trying to play a dumb alien that, like, isn't aware of human shit.
I know, but I did enjoy their conversation here.
Yeah.
Trouble?
Did you see that bus? It pulled right away.
Yeah, it came
It's
by
like a game
twice.
with them. They just like to make people suffer.
Why do they do that?
Oh, it beats me. Just thank your lucky stars you don't have to depend on buses to get around.
Stars are lucky?
Well, you know that old expression.
Well, I understand a great deal about the constellations. That is the nature of the galactic structure, but... I mean, I dig stars, but so they're lucky? That's a gas.
Yeah, I gotta agree with you. That's bad acting.
And then she gets on the motorcycle, naturally.
Naturally.
And then we see that his 2 brothers are watching, but also her parents are watching. And the dad, I told her not to get on there. And she, why didn't she listen to me? And I would have brought her to the thing.
But you're not a young man on a bike.
The next scene, he's dropping her off at this gazebo. I don't get this one either, because he's like, this isn't the library. So did she tell him? And she's like, oh no, I got plenty of time.
Yeah,
let's walk.
She's trying to like get to know him and like stay with him longer. So like she probably is not even gonna plan on going to the library at this point. She wanted to like walk with him through the park in little, like kind of like a little romantic moment.
I did not pick up on that.
No? I thought it was very obvious, like, oh, she clearly has the hots for him. She's
I have
like,
missed many a cue from girls in the past that looking back like, fuck.
You want to come up for a glass of for a cup of coffee? No, I don't like coffee.
No, thanks. Damn it wasn't coffee. I'm an idiot. She says that this gazebo is a special place for her. She's like, sometimes I come here to figure things out. She introduces herself, asks where he's from. A long ways away. Get that whole trope. I finished school like 10 years ago. I'm older than you think. People don't show their age.
Yeah, apparently he's like 31 or something, or 28. Yeah, I guess if aliens, I guess, graduated 18.
Ellen says she's got to get going. It's late, but Scott uses his powers to turn back her clock.
Yep.
And they say, oh, actually, we got all kinds of time, I guess. Then we're back at the Beatniks' house, and they're on this big computer thing, and that it can apparently see anywhere through space and time. They're spying on Scott. And then they receive a message, and I'll play some of this because it's a giant eye, and he's wondering, where is your brother?
Which kind of reminds me of, at the very end of season 1, they changed up the intro, remember?
Yeah.
And they have just like a giant eyeball kind of staring at you.
That was from the After Hours episode. I think there's only like 2 episodes that does that.
I think it's the last 4. After Hours... Mighty Casey, and 2 others.
A World of Difference.
A World of Difference, yeah.
Where is your brother?
We no longer trust our brother.
What has he done?
He's formed an attachment here with one of the people.
What kind of attachment?
I'm not sure yet. He's with a young girl in spite of our orders.
Proceed without him. The people, are they suspicious?
Not a bit. They're a stupid race, as our research told us. An inferior breed given to killing, hatred, making war, greed, and cruelty to one another. The universe can well do without them.
Is their leader supposed to be just an eyeball? Or is it supposed to be like he's so bad with technology? Like, you ever seen like some people try to use FaceTime and they just have the camera way too fucking close?
I think it's supposed to be more the former, if I had to guess.
But it'd be really funny if it was the latter. Like you'd realize, oh no, he's actually just holding the camera way too fucking close. Like, hey guys, can you see me?
Put the thing down, Daddy-o. It is also important to note that there is this little logo that we see. It's like a tree,
Yeah,
kinda?
it's like a pine tree on top of another pine tree.
Yeah. And that comes into play a little bit later, so don't forget about that. After the commercial break, the big eye is talking again. Apparently, some days have passed now. I think he says something to the effect of like, oh,
Like a
it's
week
been the
or
last
so.
5 days. And he's like, we have no other choice but to proceed without your brother. His fate is his own making. The next shot, Scott and Ellen are having like a picnic at night again. Kind of strange, which I mean, I guess it's not weird having a picnic at night, but it just, something about the night really bothered me about this episode.
I mean, maybe they could only film it at night.
But they had day shots in the beginning when they buy the house. It's daytime.
Oh yeah. I don't know. The
Why is it
aliens.
night?
The aliens are so busy during the day they only have nights to date each other.
Ellen tells Scott, oh, "You're so different than everyone I've ever known." I think it was Scott says like something to the effect of, "You like me, don't you?" And she's like, "Yeah, of course." Like, do you know the word love? She's like, "Of course I do. Why wouldn't I?" He's like, "Your whole world, like, haven't you listened to the radio or seen the news? Your planet's just filled with hate."
Yeah, and then he starts to like say like certain things like your country and like your planet, and then a lot of the other information is like the information that we've gathered on you, like just stuff like that. Like in the 50s and 60s, I would imagine that she would have been like, "Are you a commie spy?"
Right. She kind of gets freaked out and she's like, "I'd like to go home now. I don't think you are what you seem." And Scott kind of gets very defensive about this. He's like, "What if I'm not? You're in no position to judge me." And then she's like, "I'm leaving." And I liked this one. He's just like, "I'm sorry, Ellen. It's my fault. I expected too much." Fucking prick.
I mean, like, yeah, I would imagine if like an alien civilization came down to Earth, they'd probably think themselves like better than
Superior,
us. Yeah.
Next shot, Scott's being interrogated by his older brother. He's got him pinned against the wall with his mind.
They weren't pushing him though, like they were with Stu.
Hey, they didn't bully him. It would have been funnier. He's like,
Stop
"What have
hitting
you been
yourself."
doing the last couple of days? Do you think I don't know what you've been doing? I've been watching you every minute." And he's like, "I didn't do anything wrong. The girl doesn't know anything. I didn't tell her anything." He goes to the computer again. And again, we see the big eye is on the camera. And again, he gives a report. And I'll play some of this because we kind of get what their mission is, why they are here.
Report. Bacteria Unit 59 reporting in. The test has been an unqualified success.
Good. Unit 70 through 100 have reported the same results. What is your time estimate?
30 minutes to the reservoir. Approximately 24 hours for the bacteria to thoroughly contaminate the water.
How soon before you see results?
Within 30 hours, we should witness 50% fatalities. I'd estimate a total of approximately 48 hours before complete extermination.
The orgy starts at 7. Yeah, Scott's overhearing this. He runs away, kind of to go warn Ellen.
"I gotta go tell Ellen that they're poisoning the water hole." But then when he finally gets to her, he doesn't actually explain what the plan is. He just says, "You're in danger, leave," instead of saying, "Hey, don't drink the water."
Right. I like how he first gets to her house and she's like, "Hold on, I'll be right there."
Oh,
and then the
also-
brothers come and he hides in the bushes.
And then also,
But they clearly know where he is.
the most confusing part is he uses his telepathy or telekinesis to turn her lights on. Why would that cause her to look out the window? Like if her
he
lights...
used his telepathy to open the window.
No, he uses it to turn the lights on in her room, and then she gets up and opens her windows.
Pretty sure
to
he
look
opens
out.
the window.
No,
You sure?
He turns the lights on, which causes her to get up and open the windows to look outside.
I think he opens the window.
No,
Oh, you're right.
yeah. Why would the lights turning on be like, "Oh, I need to go check outside for why my lights
Well,
turned
we haven't
on."
seen the last couple days. Maybe that's their cue. Like, "Hey, when I need you, I'll just turn your lights on."
But then but she doesn't know he's an alien. How would he explain that? Like, "I'm going to turn your lights on." How? You're outside my house.
I'm an electrician. I don't know. Yeah, so his brothers come and they're like, "You're making a mistake, Scott." But then they drive off anyway. He tells her, "You're in danger. Listen, in 24 hours, everything alive is going to be dead." And she's like, "Scott, you're scaring me. Everything in your world." He's like, my world? It's your world too. No, it isn't. We came here from space. There's thousands of us here. Ellen goes inside. She's scared. She tells her dad what's up. He's like, he's lost his mind, Daddy. He's talking about an alien invasion. The dad decides to call the cops, and he calls me. He's like, yeah, there's a young man next door. I think he's mentally disturbed.
Says he's part of a landing crew from outer space.
Right, and then we see that the sheriff there, he's
the
like,
deputy
oh, don't
sheriff.
Yeah, he's like, don't
the real
worry.
sheriff's out of town, which is, I think that's a little hint towards like they killed the real sheriff and implanted this new deputy sheriff.
For sure, because as we see, he goes, don't worry, I'll be over there in a minute. And then we see he has
the little symbol.
He has the symbol, which means he's an alien as well.
And then we cut to Scott back inside the greaser's house, and he's talking on the big computer machine thing to the eyeball leader, trying to convince the leader, hey, stop your plan. This planet's not all that bad. Like,
they're not all evil. What we're doing is wrong. I liked it.
I wanted that more cliche happy ending. That's what I was hoping was going to happen. And
I thought so too, which actually I kind of liked better because the whole bait and switch.
Yeah, I'm torn. I guess
we're getting ahead of ourselves.
Yeah, getting ahead of ourselves.
Yeah, so the next shot, the cop arrives at Ellen and her father's house there, and she's like, so what's happening, Ellen? And he's like, and right before she can even say anything, Scott starts knocking on the door. We gotta get out of here. And then he kind of looks at the cop. They make eye contact, and he's like, oh, come in, son. And obviously Scott's like, oh, shit, because he knows he's an alien as well. He's like, I don't believe him. He's one of us.
And then the men from the padded room come in following the deputy sheriff. And
like, don't worry. We'll take him away. Don't worry, folks. We're going to take real good care of him. And I love that ending. Because I was like, oh, it is going to be the...
I'm torn because I really love happy endings, and obviously this is not a happy ending, but at the same time, it's also a really realistic ending because, like, just because one kid fell in love with an Earth girl, nothing's going to change for the entire invading party. Like, it's just completely unrealistic how a lot of stories kind of force a happy ending. So in that regard, I really appreciate it. So I don't know.
I liked it. I think it came out of nowhere because I don't know why, but I was expecting the more happy ending.
Yeah, and then it kind of seems like it ended quick because you're expecting more stuff to happen to resolve and fix the problem.
It's the Rod intro, and it starts like, oh shit, that's the end of the episode?
Yeah.
Portrait of an American family on the eve of invasion from outer space. Of course, we know it's merely fiction. And yet, think twice when you drink your next glass of water. Find out if it's from your local reservoir or possibly it came direct to you from the Twilight Zone.
And that is our episode. Tyler, what'd you learn?
You need a permit to run a ham radio.
You sure do. All right, we'll jump right into ratings. IMDb currently has this at a 6.4 out of 10. I think I might have liked this episode more than you.
You think so?
I don't know.
I couldn't really get a good read on where...
I'm on the fence on where I want this. I keep looking back and forth to the board. It's either I'm giving it a something or it's only going to be by a half.
Yeah, half difference. That's usually where I'm stuck between if it's...
But I also, like, talking about this episode's fun. Would I want to watch it? Like, I was pleasantly surprised by this. I had never seen this, and I was like, I've heard it's crap, but...
I was also... I mean, I had seen this one before. This one surprised me that I liked it more than I had remembered liking it.
I think I'm going to go with my gut instinct of what I'd had first, but you want to try it at the same time?
I think so. I think we're probably pretty close.
1, 2, 3,
7.5.
I was contemplating maybe putting up to a 7, but 6.5 or 7, somewhere in there. Yeah, I'm going to stick with my 6.5. That's my gut feeling, but I was very pleasantly surprised by this episode.
Yeah, I'm giving this one a 7.5. I mean, I thought it was fun. It was well-paced. A bit cheesy in the beginning, but good mystery. I definitely loved that they built up, like, they weren't explicitly saying, like, what their plan was or why they were there. I guess one kind of critique is the ending, for me, I'm very torn whether it's a good ending or a bad ending. Like, I like happy endings, and I get that not everything needs a happy ending. I don't know. But, yeah, it was, other than that, though, very funny. Enjoyable episode.
Who are they? Where are they? What are they? Let's find out together in The Twilight Gnome presents Inside the Twilight Zone.
All right, so this week we have Lee Kinsolving. He played Scott. Unfortunately, he actually died in 1974 at the age of 36 from a heart attack.
Wow.
It's only 10 years after this episode?
Yeah. So he must have been I guess pretty close to his character's age then.
Yeah, he was probably, well, it's probably like 24, 26 in this episode.
Yeah.
He actually stopped acting in like 1964 as well. He was in one episode of Gunsmoke, one episode of Outer Limits, one Playhouse 90. Obviously, being that young and stopping at the age of like 24, he didn't really get that many credits. I think he had like 20 or 30 to his name. And then we have Shelley Fabry. She played Ellen, and she's kind of the opposite, where our main character, Lee, there died young. She is still alive.
Wow.
Yeah. She was in 199 episodes of Coach, 191 episodes of The Donna Reed Show, and she was also the voice of Ma Kent in Superman, all the animated stuff.
Oh,
she
okay.
plays the voice of Kent's mom.
Yeah.
Then we have Denver Pyle. He played Stu, the dad. He was in 6 Andy Griffith shows. He was in 146 episodes of The Dukes of Hazzard. He plays Uncle Jesse in The Dukes of Hazzard.
Oh, cool.
He was in 14 Gunsmoke and 1 Gomer Pyle.
Pyle?
Shazam! There it is. Apparently, according to Earl Hamner Jr. from an interview, this is his least favorite, which there's no way. He has definitely worse ones than this. He likes You Drive better than that? Fucking blasphemy.
I gave them this and You Drive the same.
You did?
Yeah.
This is
You Drive's fun.
This is a lot better than You Drive.
This one's marginally better, but still on the same 7.5.
I think you're
rating.
too nice on ratings. You think I'm a little too...
Yeah.
You gave a 7.5 to You Drive.
Yeah, it's fun.
You're like Homer rating fucking food. Your lowest score was a 9. You gave it to a hot dog. It had a hair on it. Yeah, so this was Earl Hamner Jr.'s, apparently his least favorite from what I have seen. This is the same street that they used from The Monsters Are Due on Maple Streets. The motorcycles that they are using are 1964 Harley-Davidson Panheads. And when they drive by on their motorcycles through that little town square that is eventually 20 years later is Back to the Future. That is Hill Valley. Also, those glasses that are kind of weird looking that we see in the beginning when they're driving their motorcycles, they are also used in the episode Old Man in the Cave by the Raiders.
I thought you were going to say that that's actually something people used to wear back in the day. I'm like, I've never seen pictures of anyone wearing anything. I mean, I get it. It looks like it both has
You've never
UV...
seen pictures of anyone wearing anything?
I've never seen pictures of people wearing goggles that look like they have like a UV protective film to them I don't know. They just look weird.
In total, this episode cost $58,935. The director received the usual $1,500 for season 5 instead of the $1,250 for all the other seasons, and the cast received $6,581.
What'd you say your name was?
What's in the name, Mr. Benninger, really? It's a mere question of semantics. Just language. A mere stretch of words.
So every week, Tyler and I come up with a few alternative titles to the episodes we are watching, and you guys can play along at home as well. You guys can leave a comment. Preferably, I think the best way, as I have stated earlier in other episodes, is on the Facebook page. Every week I post a next week's episode, and there would be the perfect spot for you to comment your alternative title, and we'll read it out on the show.
Yes.
But this week, I have 4.
I have 7.
Go for it.
I'm going to start with my debacle. I got the disease debacle.
You ready for mine? I think that's a pretty good one.
Yeah.
The doo-wop debacle? Doo-wop, doo-wop, doo-wop. Because it kind of has like the 50s greaser thing.
I like that. I had found it really hard to find something that started with a D for this episode. I was like, what does this have to do with anything? But yeah. My next one, My Love from Another Star.
They Came on Motorcycles.
The Eve of Invasion.
Do another one.
Somebody's Poisoning the Water Hole.
Mine, I don't remember if you remember these books, but they had like these books like math teachers don't do this, and like the teacher would be like a mummy or some shit.
Yeah, it was the one with everyone like walked on the left side going up and the right side going down, which means that they would actually run into each other. It was like the something school, right?
No, like there was a whole series. There was a bunch of different books like Vampires Don't Teach Calculus or something like that.
Oh, okay.
So I have Martians Don't Drive Motorcycles.
Yeah? All right. I have Love is Alive on the Third Planet.
Yeah.
I got Bikers and Bacteria. And my last one, Aliens Next Door.
Yeah, pretty good. Switcheroos, I have 4.
I have 3.
All right, go first then.
I got The Invaders.
Yes, I got that. The Monsters Are Due on Maple Street.
I have that, but I was going to switch it to The Monsters Are Due on Amanda Street.
Stopover in a Quiet Town.
I have The Arrival.
And I have The Fear.
Nice.
Yeah. You are now about to penetrate the Twilight Zone.
So every now and again, if Tyler and I have an alternative title for a porno for the episode we are watching, we do so. And Tyler has, how many do you have? You have
I have one.
One? I have two, so I'll go first.
Yeah.
Black Rubber Dildo.
Nice. I have Backdoor Leather Jackoffs.
And I have Black Leather Gimp Suit.
Dildo one's better.
Black Rubber Dildo. All right. Pretty decent.
All right, so no direct references this week. This is definitely one of the more forgotten episodes. But I do have some kind of spiritual predecessors, let's say. So first, I'm going to list off some ones that are aliens in disguise, trope type movies and TV. We got the Men in Black series. We got the X-Files.
Agent M.
The X-Files and the 1988 movies They Live. And then the other is Aliens Falling for Earthlings trope, which we got 1984's Starman, 1988's My Stepmother is an Alien, and then we have Guardians of the Galaxy 2, and TV series like Mork and Mindy, Third Rock from the Sun, and Doctor Who.
Hey, look, there's an alien. Better have sex with it.
And Dirty Deeds, or Dirty Work?
Dirty Work.
Dirty Work, yeah.
Slight reference. All right, so every week Tyler picks the episodes, and he does so by showing me an AI-generated picture. I play a little game where I have to guess what it is. Now, for the last, 10 weeks, I have guessed Season 4 because we've never gone this long without a Season 4, and I think mathematically we have to do one, every 8 or 9, and it's been, 15. So,
it hasn't been 15. It's been 13, I think we counted.
I think it's, more like 15.
We'll count again.
So I'm going to have to keep saying Season 4. I'm going to do it one more time, and if it's not Season 4, until we get Season 4, I'm going to go on a silent. I'm not even going to guess.
All right.
I'm going to go on a strike.
You ready?
Yeah. Fuck you.
You
Fuck
asked
you.
for it. It's Season 4.
I knew that was going to happen, too. Waited so long for Season 4, and it's my least favorite episode of all time.
This episode, you talked so much shit about it, so I was expecting it to be bad. I genuinely enjoyed this episode. I thought it was a fun episode.
You also gave Mute a 9.
We also haven't even said what episode it was yet. You just said that you hated it.
I'm pretty sure if you've been listening to this, you know what my least favorite episode is. So buckle up. Season 4, Episode 2, The 30 Fathom Grave.
It's a fun one. I enjoyed it. This will be fun because it's an episode I'm also interested to see. When's the last time you watched it?
It's been a long time. I think mainly the biggest issue was I didn't know. So when I got the DVD set back in 2010 or 11, I didn't know Season 4 changed formats. So I'm watching it. I'm like, holy fuck, this fucking thing's dragging on.
I mean, this was also been the second episode.
I didn't notice because In His Image is a good episode, so I liked it. I didn't notice. The time didn't drag on, but this episode I was like, holy fuck, what's going on? Why is this suck?
I thought this episode did really well with the pacing, a lot better than The Bard and
really?
Better than what's the Randolph Street one with the idiot?
Horace Ford. I love Horace Ford.
So that one's
I like that one.
Yeah, this one I enjoyed.
All right. Like I said, it's been years since I've seen it, but from what I remember, I fucking really hate it. But it could have been just because I wasn't expecting Season 4 to be long.
I thought it was so funny, too, where you were like, oh, I really need another Season 4. I'm like, well, I was thinking to myself, don't wish for it quite yet.
I mean, we're going to do all the episodes. We had to get it out of the way eventually. I guess I'm glad that we're getting it over with, but all right. 30 Fathom Grave. Tyler said it's pretty okay. He was pleasantly surprised, and we'll see if I hate it as much as I remember next week.
Sounds good.
You are about to receive a message from the 5th dimension.
All right, so don't forget to comment and leave us some comments on Facebook or on YouTube or any of our videos. We will read them out this week. I got a couple to read for you guys. We got at Little Froggy 747 says, Living Doll and You Drive are my two favorites, and that was in relation to our Top 10 Twists episode. And then on our Top 10 Funniest episodes, we got a comment from Rachel F3625 says, I loved that Mr. Dingle episode, mainly the comedic genius of Don Rickles.
Don Rickles is pretty awesome.
He's a pretty
Why
cool
don't
guy.
you go buy yourself a horse and live in the mountains and leave everyone alone?
Mr. Potato Head?
That was from Dirty Work.
Ah, okay.
Again, he owns the movie theater. Don
Yeah,
Rickles
he does.
from.
Oh, yeah, because we were just talking about Dirty Work.
Hey, look, some aliens. Awesome. Yeah, please leave some more comments, guys. Just a little bit of housekeeping. If you guys could please continue to like and subscribe on the YouTube page, it means the world to us. What are we? I think we're at like 160.
167.
Yep. Awesome. I'm so happy. Thank you guys so much. I know that a lot of people are really digging the top 10 videos. It does actually take quite a bit of effort to do those, so we're actually going to take a break after doing 2 of them pretty much back to back. Our next big episode is 75. We have something very special, so we won't have another top 10 until episode 80, and it's going to be around Halloween time, and I think you guys are really going to like this top 10. This is probably going to be our best top 10 list.
Yeah, and our 75th episode is going to be really special, too.
Yes.
That's going to be a fun one. Even though it's not a top 10, I think you guys will definitely enjoy it. So
For sure. If you need to get a hold of us for any other reason, you can email us at twilightgnome59@gmail.com. But until then, Tyler, I have a final question for you. I think this is a pretty good one, too.
All right.
So, you know how they kind of came back as, like, beatniks from, like, the 50s and stuff?
Yeah.
If this was made today, what would the aliens disguise themselves as?
Oh. I think it's always so hard to, like, kind of put a kind of like marker on the flavor of
time
your
you're at.
decade because it's still happening. Because, like, even in the 90s, like, you wouldn't have thought, oh, it's about grunge. And then, like, several decades later, you're like, yeah, 90s, like, you wear, like, flannels and, like, stuff like that.
And I feel like in 2010s, they probably would have come back as, like, hipsters.
Yeah, I would say, like, early 2000s would probably be, like, all I can think of is there's a photo of Britney Spears and Justin Timberlake wearing, like, all denim. Like, that seems like a very, like, 2000s sort of thing. And then,
Word.
like, yeah, so I don't know what the 20s kind of outfit dress code would be.
We're also very far removed from, like, pop culture, at least in, like, the, like, what cool things were. We pretty much wear the exact same things we were in high school 15 years ago.
Exactly. So I don't know, maybe, like, mom pants are a thing. Like,
are they?
For some women, I don't know. I have no idea. I don't know what the kids wear these days. The haircut that I see, like,
a lot of kids are rocking mullets.
Yeah, it's like a mullet, but kind of not exactly a full mullet. That's what I was gonna say.
Like
It's
the Uncle Laser hair.
Yeah, it's kind of like, it reminds me of Morgan Wallen's kind of haircut that he had in his last album, like that sort of almost a mullet, but like not quite a mullet. I don't know how to describe it.
You think they come back as like country frat boys?
Maybe. Yeah, let's go with that. They come back as country frat boys.
Yeah.
What would you? Was that what?
I honestly don't know. Like I said, I'm pretty far removed from like what's cool. I used to be cool and with it,
and then they changed what cool and with it was,
and now everything that's new is terrifying. I'm definitely in that camp now. Yeah, yeah, probably something like that. I just went to a graduation party for someone in the family or family friend, and it seems like the youngsters are definitely trying to go for the Morgan Wallen thing pretty hard.
Yeah, I definitely noticed that, at least with like hair-wise. But other than that, like I said, it's probably going to be another decade before we realize what the 20s look was. Yeah. So, too bad it wasn't the 1920s. Like, just everything's so 100-year cyclical, and everyone's like the flappers.
I'm a flapper gal.
And,
hey, see?
And what would be like a zoot suit for like the guys? Yeah.
I'd be down for that. I love that. 1920s is like my favorite time period. So
yeah, that's pretty cool. Prohibition.
So until then, Tyler, do you have anything to say to our dear, dear listeners?
Yes. Thank you all for stepping in the Twilight Gnome with us.
It's 4 o'clock, the howling man is gone.